Hey guys, tonight we step quietly into a medieval winter, the kind that creeps into your bones before you even realize you're cold. You're standing in a small village just after sunset, breath faintly visible, the air sharp enough to make your nose sting. Snow hasn't fallen yet, but it doesn't need to. The cold is already here, patient, confident, and absolutely convinced it's going to win. Somewhere nearby, wood crackles in a fire that's doing its best impression of warmth. You watch the smoke drift upward and think, just briefly, that you probably won't survive this. Don't worry, that's the joke. Mostly. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. But only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And while you're settling in, drop a comment telling me where you're listening from and what time it is for you right now. Medieval villagers didn't know what a comment section was, but they definitely would have gathered around it for warmth. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You don't rush. Nobody rushes in winter. You pull your cloak tighter. Not because it's fashionable, but because it's wool, thick and itchy, and it traps heat in a way linen never could. As you walk through the village, you notice how everything seems designed to huddle inward. Houses lean toward each other like they're sharing secrets. Roofs are low, walls are thick. Windows are so small they look more decorative than useful. This is not architecture meant to impress. This is architecture meant to survive. The cold shapes everything you see. It dictates where people live, how they move, even how they think. In medieval Europe, especially during colder centuries like the early Middle Ages, winters could be brutal, long, and unpredictable. One mainstream historical fact anchors all of this. The so-called medieval warm period ended around the 13th century, followed by cooler conditions that made winters harsher for many communities. You don't know that phrase, of course. You just know that every year, winter feels like a test you didn't sign up for. You pass a house and hear muffled sounds inside. Voices, maybe laughter, maybe coughing. People are already gathering indoors, not because they're tired, but because heat is communal. Heat is something you share, like food or stories. Outside, the cold is democratic. It treats everyone the same. Inside, warmth becomes a kind of quiet privilege, earned through preparation and cooperation. As night settles in, you feel the psychological shift. Darkness comes early in winter, and without artificial lighting, it's more than just an absence of sun. It's a signal. Work slows, conversations soften, movements become deliberate. You don't stay out unless you have to. The cold isn't just uncomfortable. It's dangerous. Frostbite isn't a word you know, but numb fingers and burning toes are sensations you understand intimately. You step closer to one of the homes, not entering yet, just listening. There's the low murmur of people, the occasional clink of pottery, the hiss of something damp meeting fire. The smell of smoke is everywhere, clinging to clothes, hair, skin. Medieval life smells like burning wood in winter, no matter who you are. Even the wealthy can't escape it entirely. It's the scent of survival. Scholars still argue whether medieval people felt cold more intensely than we do today, or if they were simply better adapted to it. You don't have an opinion on that debate. From where you're standing, cold is cold. Your fingers are stiff. Your face aches. Adaptation feels like a polite word for endurance. There's something oddly calming about the predictability of it all. Winter comes. You prepare. You endure. You wait. There's no illusion that technology will save you. No switch to flip. No thermostat to nudge upward by a single hopeful degree. The fire you'll rely on tonight is the same kind your grandparents used, and their grandparents before them. If it goes out, the room will cool fast. Everyone knows this. Everyone feels it. You finally step inside, ducking slightly under the low doorway. The change isn't dramatic, but it's noticeable. The air is less sharp, more alive. Shadows dance on the walls as firelight flickers. This space isn't warm by modern standards, but compared to outside, it feels almost generous. You exhale, slowly, like your body's been holding onto tension without asking your permission. Here's a quirky detail that always surprises people. Medieval houses were often deliberately built with minimal ventilation in winter, even though it made the air smoky and unhealthy. The logic was simple. Every crack that let smoke out also let heat escape. So people tolerated stinging eyes and persistent coughs in exchange for a few more degrees of warmth. Comfort was negotiable. Survival was not. You stand there for a moment, absorbing the scene. This is the starting point for everything that follows tonight. The cold isn't a background detail. It's the main character. It's the reason fireplaces matter, why animals sometimes live indoors, why families sleep packed together like human kindling. Every choice you'll make over the next long night bends around one simple goal. Stay warm enough to see morning, and as the fire pops softly and the room settles into its nighttime rhythm, you realize something important. You're not fighting winter alone. No one here ever does. The cold is vast, impersonal, relentless. but so is the quiet determination of people who have learned, over generations, how to live with it rather than against it.